Is there a backup from Las Almas or from John's neighbors?
What?
There is a backup, like people speaking loudly?
Oh, in the background?
Yes.
That's here.
Okay. Say hi to Sergey when you see him.
Okay.
Okay. Yes, I will be here. And Daniel will appear in a minute. So, our main... Levi, and you didn't send the abstracts to us as a group, but you did send it to your direct boss. Probably you have already got feedback from one source. Next time, if you want to get feedback from the whole group, just send it to several addresses so that we can print and bring.
Oh. Okay.
So we do have a dual goal. Our primary goal declared before that we are going to pursue is to complete the batch of manuscripts that are based on what we have presented in Sanibel. And we are splitting these manuscripts on sections, starting from like figures and conclusions, and now we are covering the rest. Next time probably we should do results, and in 2 weeks discussion, which is most creative part. And discussion is the longest one. It will be really hard to sit here and read through everything. Today we are doing abstracts, which is kind of easy. It's like half a page. For some of us who are very creative, it can be over a page. But the dual goal is that the abstracts that we are reading through and writing comments, I do not have the grading form because it's kind of self-evident. It should start with general statement, who needs it, and at the end, summary of benefits, and in the middle, like methods and main result. There is not much place. But second direction where we are going to use these abstracts is the American Chemical Society conference in Boston that will take place in August, from August 19th to 23rd. Dr. Han is co-organizer, so he knows a lot about it. And here is the poster that he put together. In the materials that I sent to the invitation to the meeting, you will see the copy of this thing. So, since you have your colleague who is co-organizer, there are increased chance that work that you submit will be accepted, and we should use this chance, right? The organizers, the big organizers of the Chemical Society and divisions of computer and chemistry, do limit the overall length of the conference, and there could be less space than speakers. So what we submit here inside the group will be kind of backup material. If there will be not enough speakers, you have good chances to get oral presentations. If there will be too many of the like famous invited speakers, it will be posters. But anyway, it's a good opportunity to go to a conference and listen to important speakers in your area. Consult with your direct advisor about if you have encouragement to go there, because in this country, advisor means someone also financially responsible for travel. But I, to anyone whom I'm responsible for, I highly encourage to go, and especially highly encourage to submit abstracts. Even if by some reasons if you are set to a poster and you're not able to come, we can ask each other to present a poster, or even to speak instead of each other. But submission of abstracts is not a bad idea. The deadline for abstracts is either Sunday night or Monday night. 26 is Sunday or Monday? I think it will be safer to submit on Sunday night, because
I thought that they're due on Friday.
Today is
Monday.
huh?
26 is Monday night.
Monday. No.
Oh, it's due Monday. Okay.
Well, earlier is better. If you have enough steam and energy to do it 2 days ahead, it's great. You're a champion in being most organized. I typically do such things in the last hour, but it is too late, because the whole country or the whole globe will submit in the last hour, and internet and system, ACS system will work very slowly. So if you do a little ahead of time, like 24 or 48 hours, it will be much quicker. Also, you may start your submission ahead and even formally submit, and later, before the deadline, you can return and edit. The system has this, shortcoming. So let me quickly go over the submission process. So today we will edit abstracts of each other generally to make them sound, and I will go over the practice submission. I took one of the abstracts that you sent today, Aaron sent, was trying to submit, but then I fall into conflict with system that allows only 2,500 symbols, and if it is over, one needs to remove something. So here is an address, but it's too long. If you type just, John and Levi, do you see the content?
I don't.
Not yet.
Eight. Okay, that's fine. You still don't?
No, but if it's the same as the
It
PDF,
is-
follow along on that.
It is the same, yes.
Okay.
Okay, good. I think it was tuned to projector or some other thing. So instead of typing this long stuff, you can just type ACS maps, and maps is abbreviation for abstract submission. And there you will see several meetings, including the 256 in Boston. So you click there. And when you try to go there, it will ask for your username and password. If you have been interacting with American Chemical Society, you should have it. If you are doing it for the first time, you will establish it. And be ready. They may charge you for becoming a member. And this is one of the few things that is very hard to reimburse through university. So if you can prove that you are undergraduate, the fee will be the least. And if you are graduate, even if you like in between of different status, the lower the rank, the smaller the fee. So do not tell that I'm a full professor. No one will check, but people will immediately charge you for this. So after you log in, there will be the menu submission, which is for all of us, and session is only for Dr. Han, who is the organizer. He will see everything what you submit, and he can like frivolously accept or decline. So it'd be nice to him. And there will be a menu, create new submission. So after, this is very simple and silly, but I want to go over because if you never did it before, you can get some discomfort or be scared away. So although it is simple, like I have written an abstract, why don't they accept it immediately? It's like 30 steps. They all are simple and silly, but just be ready and do not postpone it for last 10 minutes before the formal deadline. So in chemical society, there is a couple dozen of divisions. So you will not see the division of computer and chemistry when you open it right away. You need to scroll down and click on computers and chemistry. You're free to choose anything you like, but some of them have deadline already passed, and some of them have organizers not as nice as Dr. Han and may immediately decline whatever you submit. So you select which division you want, then you go forward, and there you dissect your abstract on sections like title, authors, body, figures, if any. So, and you do not see it right away. You need to scroll and see the spots. So, self-evident, you put their title separately, you put there the body, and somewhere here there will be a bar that counts characters. The overall limit is 2,500 for everything. Title plus text plus figure plus references, and figure also counts like 300 symbols. So you can't go too far. Well, if you scroll, there will be an opportunity to select an image. You just click and put it there. You can add caption or skip it. Select, upload. So it's kind of self-evident. I'm not discovering anything new, just sharing how we went through. And there will be save and continue on each step. Save and continue. Image tells how much character it counts for. And then it immediately tells like, okay, not good. You need less symbols. But it still allows to go forward and put the rest of selections. So select oral preferred, which means that you agree to present orally, but you also agree to present as a poster. Or if you're scared of presenting orally, you can put poster preferred. And there will be a section that may confuse you, science mix. So it means if you are so ambitious and hungry for presentations that you want to present one material twice, the science mix is the special poster session, which is about 5% of people who go for it, consider for science mix, are selected. And there is a special session where all divisions send their best representatives and everyone from the whole chemical society watch for them. So it's kind of a little award distinction, but on the other hand, it's more work. So instead of presenting once, you need to present twice. It means like you can be selected for presenting once again, and even if you are oral speakers, science mix is a poster. So, symposium. I know it's like a big tree with many forking. There are several divisions, and in each division there are several symposia. So if you want to submit to the poster, to this session where your close colleague, Dr. Han, is organizing, you need to select for computational photocatalysis. Again, you can try to submit anywhere, but it's better if we stay as a group. Our posters or presentations will be in one room, and we can. It will be much easier because American Chemical Society has typically like 20,000 attendees. They're split over like 500 rooms, and if everyone randomly selects a symposium and then wants to meet each other, it will most of the time will go for running between rooms. So I was doing it and it automatically put myself, but I'm not the first author. If there are more authors, there is a button add authors, and you just type in first, last name, and email, and then if this author was doing something with American Chemical Society, presenting on conferences before, if you click search, it will pop up. If not, you just type in additional information. You create an author, and it will, when you do submit create an author, it will also ask for affiliation. And when you create so then if you add authors, the system places them in a list after you. But if you want to swap order, there are like author order. Like I want it to be dumped to the end and put Aaron to the top. So I put him number 1, number 2 for me, and then there is a update author order. And here you can make jokes to each other, like send someone to a different affiliation. Like I could put Aaron Fordy, Harvard, and it will be in the system. Well, this would be good, but it would be much more funny to put someone from Harvard to NDSU. And then there are a couple of formal steps where, well, you can answer anything. You can tell that you were invited by me or by Dr. Han, or you can tell that I'm self-invited. It's a formality. And then you tell that you are not going to conflict with any bylaws of the Chemical Society, that you agree to register, and if you will not come, you will withdraw the abstract. But those are natural things. You do not think, you just agree with. Close the eyes and agree. Well, they try to prevent submitting the same abstract several times, but by our ethical standards, we never were planning to do so, right? I don't know why you need to put your rank. Maybe to check that the rate of your registration, or maybe to nominate someone for additional award. So I should put not applicable by myself, because I'm not eligible for award for graduate students. academia. Well, there is also a place to tell comments to organizers. So if you like the symposium and you want to be nice to Dr. Han, you can tell that his symposium is the best possible. And there is a through lines for international applicants. No one will catch you if you put nothing. It is more important if you applying from abroad and you need invitation letter for a visa. So if you recommend it for your international collaborators, the putting like country of residence, then upon acceptance of an abstract, the ACS computer will automatically issue an invitation letter, which will be enough for a person to go to embassy and get visa. But for other purposes is not important. And then when you go to review and submit, when you go to review, it will tell that the character count is far from ideal. If you are very creative and you wanted to put the whole paper there. So what I did was just a plan, practice. So I just removed a couple of sentences and all references. Aaron? So please work on your abstract anyway. The one that I have submitted is kind of training, fake. I will remove it. So I'm not submitting instead of you. Yeah. And I was in a rush just to show the procedure, so I wasn't careful about what to remove. I may have removed most important parts. And then after removal and before you click final submission, it shows how it looks like after ACS formatting. So it shows if you add a figure, it shows figure. So I did cut the references and introduction part, and then it was fit into required size. And then after you click submit, you do get your front panel, and it tells that you have an abstract under review. So then you do nothing, you just wait until organizers look through and click that it is good enough to be accepted. So until it is accepted, you need to be nice to Dr. Han. After, no, oh no, after it also will be scheduled. And some people care about being scheduled at a specific time. Okay, I'm done with the overview. So I'm going to distribute abstracts, and we will just sit and try to be critical to each other. In the invitation email, I have also sent some templates for assignable manuscripts. Right now, we don't care. One can format everything at last moment, or one can take format and start filling it. Just I wanted to do to clean my self-consciousness that I share it. So when and if more attendees will come at 5. I will repeat this little overview, but you do not need to listen to me twice. You can just read what others are doing. Do you have a pen to write with? So from now on, you know that short doesn't mean bad. It could be beneficial. So if you are confused by absence of the grading instructions, you know the standard thing of scientific communication. You read first sentence, make an arrow to the end of first sentence, and then write, explain why everything is wrong. Well, I'm joking, but just ask questions if something is confusing you. It's completely normal because abstract should be understandable for everyone, not only to specialists but also to broad audience. And I apologize if I distribute the abstracts to the authors of the same abstracts. It's just too hard intellectually for me to count who is where. I know it is yours, but I'm like a robot. So the total count should be 6, and if you are minus number of abstracts that you are author. No, 7.
charges?
The joke, I guess, because PB is replaced with MN. PB has 2 valence, MN has 5.
So 2 plus is also stable oxidation state from MN incubation.
That's effectively just say this still has 5 valence. So that'd give a difference of 3 charges. 3 to add 3 electrons. So where's the extra one from?
Does you want to ask you about 6 orders of magnitude?
No, he asked me about the charges, the dots and why they differ. Because the intrinsic dot has 2 plus. We take out a lead.
But
Okay.
manganese should be 2 plus, should be same oxidation.
Same oxidation. Doesn't it provide more valent electrons?
No. Manganese 2 plus and lead 2 plus. So total oxidation state of the should be different. Number of electrons,
Right.
total number may be different, because iron, lead ion and manganese ion has different number of valent electrons.
Right. That's what I was trying to say.
But no, you need to reformulate it.
But the overall charge should be the same, right? It should be neutral.
No, either let me write it down. So, positive charge of each ion minus number of electrons, it is your oxidation. But this number can be different for lead and manganese. But then appropriately the number of positive charges will be different. Lead has kind of field deep shell. So even if we neglect core electrons, 10 electrons, if you take it into 10, 12, which means that actual potential will take into account the positive charge of the unit if you compare 2 plus of lead and 2 plus of manganese. I just don't want to buy into the so the total number of electrons in this system should be different. Oxidation would be the same. Just should.
In the in-card files, though, we always labeled it.
The in-card file should have the number of electrons addressing this difference.
Yes.
And whatever is written after the command sign can be here. Do not count on any comments.
No. That's probably what it is then.
I want to believe that everything is thanks for catching this. Yeah, so basically you should compare the same system with similar overall charge, right? Yes. Okay. Makes sense. your attention. If you ever used abstract for different purposes, yes. Do you get your abstract printed?
Oh, no.
But if you have it and it just 5 minutes to go and print 10 copies, you'll get benefit of getting a feedback.
Yeah, sure.
So if you used your abstract before and you want to recycle it, it cannot be literally the same. So it is normal in the community if you keep updating and getting new results on the same subject, but everything now is checked for self-plagiating by computers. So you need to, ideally, you need to tell what is new compared to previous time, and formally, you have to swap words. So,
Yeah, no, I literally totally forgot. I have not touched it, but I can print out the same one that I've had for the same products, right?
yeah, it would be great.
Great.
5 minutes for this edition.
Yeah, I'll just run over to Memorial and print
Excellent,
it.
excellent. I will distribute things so you will read and edit, and we will perform in front of the board to entertain you guys.
Wait, what?
I will entertain you,
Okay.
if you don't mind.
As long as I don't.
No, your time will be later, not today. So let me distribute things to grade first, and then Elisa will be back and I will entertain her as well. So what we are doing, we are editing and providing comments to abstracts of each other. We already got some comments. And the abstracts will be used twice. Once for, I'm just like a robot distribution to everyone. Once for the Sunny Bell proceedings and once for another conference that you haven't heard about yet. So when Elisa arrives, I will disclose this secret.
Why is it broken to when I focus on more valuable?
I already have. No.
Huh?
We're good.
I know that I'm distributing masterpieces back to authors. You can start counting whom to give and whom not to give as well. Collapse.
have a right?
Yep.
Okay, if you are here since the beginning, you do not listen and continue what you do. If your schedule allowed you to appear just now, I want to entertain you for a little. Okay, so we are helping each other to improve abstracts, and these abstracts will be used for dual purpose. First purpose, they will go into signable manuscripts, as we are preparing and looking for a long time. As our main goal of the lab, submit proceedings of signable manuscripts. And second, there is an opportunity of American Chemical Society National Meeting in August, and one of your close colleagues, Dr. Han, is co-organizer of it, as if you look at the bottom. So submitting an abstract there can be higher chance of acceptance if you are nice to Dr. Han. Do not count on 1 hour long invited talks, because they are typically taken by high-ranked people, but there is a chance of being placed either in poster session or short contributed talks. Even if you're not sure, well, of course you need to consult with your primary advisor and for approving of this travel, but the deadline for abstracts is in 6 days or even less, 5.5, on coming Monday evening. And if you're not sure, you may withdraw later, but you cannot submit after deadline. So it is safer to do the submission. I am going to guide through how the submission is arranged. So what to expect? You can look into Google for ACS, American Chemical Society maps. Maps is not like map on a globe, it is abbreviation for abstract submission system. And there, if you go there, you will see 256, national meeting in Boston. And if you get there, if you ask for your username and password, if you do not have, you may establish one. Be ready that they may pull some money from you, and those will be the amount that you cannot reimburse back from the university. If you are in the undergraduate status, it will be small acceptable amount, but do not artificially increase your status. It grows non-linear. After you log in, there will be a button for submission, and when you click on the submission, there will be option for create new submission. So I'm doing it. There's nothing, no discoveries, nothing super complicated. But if you decide to submit and suddenly do it at last 5 minutes or 10 minutes before deadline, you may fail first because you will be discouraged by a lot of silly steps
It's like 30 steps to go through, even if your abstract is ready. And second, because at the very end of the deadline, everyone in the world try to submit there, and at least in the country, because it's a national meeting and system will work much slower than like a day or 2 days earlier. So you need to select the division. So chemical society has several divisions, and the one you are encouraged to go to is not seen on the first screen. You need to scroll down and see division of computers and chemistry. And if you click continue, you approve it, there will be, also do not be discouraged. If something is strange, just scroll down. And there will be the opportunity to dissect your abstract on sections, like title, authors, affiliations, body, figures, if any. So you populate stuff, and if you are a big supporter of equations and LaTeX, you may put some things, but in abstract, it doesn't make you much better or much worse. But if you cannot live without equations, they will cooperate with you. When you copy paste, it will count characters, and there is a limit of 2,000 something, so you cannot write a long poem there. So it should be reasonably concise. And there will be buttons to select and upload image if you want your best graphical table, graphical abstract put there. They allow it, but it will also take your characters from total count. And then when you go for save and continue, if you wrote too much, it will tell you. But it allows to continue populating things with, and then later you can edit. And there is one detail about this system. You can submit garbage, click submit, and then until the deadline, you can come every day, edit a little bit, resubmit or update, so that you will not suffer of last day hectic. So what is important for organizers that there is a record. So the file, a record, creates after you click submit, and the contents is a secondary thing. So you can, if you are, do not put oral only, because there is no guarantee for oral only. But if you are brave enough, you can tell that you prefer oral, or if you want to be on the safe side, you can tell that you prefer posters. Also, do not be confused by science mix. You need to select something, otherwise it will not go forward. Science mix, it is, if you're so ambitious that you want to present your poster twice, they will select about 5% of best posters and put them in special session on Monday evening. And everyone who comes to this session gets free beer, otherwise no. Otherwise one needs to pay for beer during posters. But if you select it, it means you need to work twice. The honor is moderate, but the effort is substantial. Important thing, symposium. If you want to get a favor from your close colleagues, you cannot go to, well, no one forbids you to submit anywhere, but if you select random symposium, even with very attractive title, there is no guarantee that your abstract will be accepted, even for posting. It's there is a high chance of rejection, high rate of rejections in chemical society. So what you are encouraged is to select computational photocatalysis. This is the most important part of my entertaining performance, and it is what is shown here. Computational photocatalysis. After you select it, you go to author section. Here it will appear your natural name after you register for the system. But if you are not the only author, and it is very frequent, there will be a button to add author that you can do like, add many authors. There will be chance to type in the first, last, and email, and click if the system recognizes this person. If not, you can create an author and make jokes like assign affiliations that your friend or colleague is not aware about, like put State University of Zimbabwe. or if you want to make well, it's joke. Do not do it. Put true affiliation. After you create an author, there will be new authors will be placed to the bottom of the list. But if you want to swap orders, there will be number. Like here, I was doing practice. I took some material from Aaron, and although he's the first author, system put me first. I didn't want it, so I put for me number 2, for him number 1, and then update author order. And then you just click, you put affiliation, and then there are. So if you are impatient, it will kill you. You need to practice a little bit of patience. There will be like reasons for submitting. You can like I am self-submitting, or someone invited me. Like I'm submitting and tell I have invited myself. And then you need to tell that you agree with all requirements, regulations. You never practice plagiarism. You never submit the same abstract twice to the same conference or even to different conferences. Of course, we are editing, so we are changing something. You tell that if you're not able to come, you withdraw abstract. You need to do it in order to have submitted, but if in fact your schedule will not allow to come, there is an opportunity to ask your co-author or close collaborator to present instead of you. It's a common practice, but you cannot put it in writing. And then you put whatever you identify yourself. I don't know why they do it. Maybe they are considering to award you, if you like. There are awards, probably awards for undergraduate, graduate. If you want to be nice to Dr. Han, you can make him comment to organizer that it is a good symposium. You don't care about the international status. You do not need documents on this. And then when you go to last review and submit, if something is wrong, it will be bright red. So if it is too many symbols, there will be, you can either click here, edit, or go back to this navigation panel and like remove symbols, or there could be other difficulties. And then before clicking the final submit button, you can view proof, and it will show how it will format and how, if it is accepted, how it will be seen in the program. And then after you view, this will appear in a different window. You click on submit, and after that, in your home window, there will appear the submission under review. And if you go here and select, there is an opportunity to like edit or withdraw if you suddenly change your mind. That's it. So let's keep helping each other by editing abstracts.
That's what that means, but is there a way to make it, can you make it specific to something more? Maybe you can,
No, you can. Really just
maybe more clarification.
I'm trying to be more technical.
So most of you have already completed and may decide to depart.
It's great. Yeah, this.
So please consult with
This is the
your
condition I'm looking at.
primary
These are the same.
So this one's more general. So I'm talking,
advisor
this is a specific.
about going to this conference, but we may not meet because deadline is on Monday. So make your plans to submit before Monday night.
Are we not doing Friday meetings?
Huh?
Are we not doing
Oh,
Friday
yeah.
meetings?
We may have Friday meetings, and there is a volunteer speaker for Friday. Stay tuned for announcements.
What does that mean?
Yes, we've told you can do it in 2 weeks. I took correction. But if there will be only one speaker, it will be much quicker. On Fridays, we are not editing anything. Friday is like only speaker works and everyone else relaxes.
So do you have a meeting Friday?
Yes, there is a person who wants to speak this Friday.
I've been compelled to speak.
What else? Next Tuesday will be the hardest part of editing. So please prepare your results section. Right? It is the longest one, hardest one. If you do not know what to do, if you do not have results section, it is so nice for people who will read you. If you just compose it in the last minute, it will be like half a page that everyone will be happy to read. If you were working on it for a year, it will be terribly long. So if you are established scientist, you know what to put in the results. If you have curiosity and you're doing it one of the first times, the simplest thing is just overview your figures. So by now your figures should be in logical order, and you tell the figure number 1 tells blah blah blah, the figure number 2 tells blah blah blah, right? And then a paragraph per each figure, and then it will be less than a page. And if something is logically missed, you hear feedback from our collective brain. In 2 weeks on this Tuesday session, we should do discussion, which we can either write. London knows what should be in the discussion. He already completed it. In a very nice.
Yeah.
He thought that it is conclusions, but it was discussion.
I have no idea what to put in my conclusions at this point. But.
We'll talk maybe further, but I do have an idea that I'm not sure about. In addition, you feel free to give feedback. Many of you were taking records of comments from visitors of your posters to what you did. So, in addition or instead of discussion section in 2 weeks, it is an idea. I'm not asking, not mandating, just bringing it for discussion. Everyone can bring like 1 or 2 pages slides with a list of what visitors to my poster asked me. Show it and tell, I was asked this and I answered this. In fact, it is what should be in the discussion session. If you know how to convert this discussion with visitors to your poster into like 1 page of writing, it's fine. If you are in doubts, it is much more vivid if something is presented and discussed. So we can do these little presentations and with discussion, formal writing of discussion for next meeting or for take-home assignment. I'm just sharing the information. It will be not next week. It will be in 2 weeks. Any questions? Anything we need to discuss as a collectively? If not, meeting is dismissed. Thanks much for helping each other, investing into improvement of manuscripts of each other. It's a unique opportunity that is not practiced everywhere. So this mutual help later will give benefit to everyone who helps and everyone who is getting help.